Hey there, Scorpio. It's Keegan. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling here, and as you can see, I've put an overlay over the camera view so you can see what specifically I'm going to be taking a look at with this reading. As you probably guessed from the title, this reading is not specific to you, the listener, but is specific to the other person. And I want to explain who that person can be, first of all, while I'm shuffling, and then also explain to you a couple of ways that you can watch these readings to get insight into whoever this other person is. So if you're currently in a relationship and you want to watch this from the perspective of gaining insight into the person that you're with, then that's how you can watch it. If you are not in a relationship with someone, but you have your eye on someone, then you can watch it for that person. Even if you're single and you don't currently have anyone that you are interested in, you can still watch this video if you'd like to, and just think of this being insight into who's coming towards you, who the next person coming in might be. I do my readings based on a romantic point of view typically, so my readings are typically love readings, but you can also watch this about a friend or a coworker or a family member if you want to get insight into the other person. Just strip away any of the things that I put into it that are specifically me tuning into romantic partnerships. So there are lots of different ways that you can watch this particular reading. What I do want to say is that if you are a Scorpio and you've clicked on this, I'm not talking about you in this reading. I'm talking about the other person. I just want to make that clear because I think some people might get confused, because I don't typically do readings about the other person. I would say 90% of my readings focus on you, the person listening, and I might get some information about the other person along the way, but most of the time I focus on the actual person listening. But if you're a Scorpio and you've clicked on this, know that I am tuning into the energy of the other person. Now, you can also, if you know the other person's sign, so let's say, for example, you're a Scorpio, but you're interested in a Libra, then you can go watch the Libra reading and just listen to it as if I'm talking about your Libra. Okay, so I just want to explain that. What I'm going to do is give this deck a little bit of a free shuffle here and do some cuts. And then I'm just going to start placing cards. Now, I might put one card down, I might put three. It just depends on what I feel the cards want. I'm going to turn some of these here, putting them back in order. And then we're going to dive into it. And I will read the cards starting on the left. I'll read these two first, then I'll read these, and then I'll read these in case you're curious when things are going to be covered. And then I have my Oracle deck here that you can see. I will offer you a closing Oracle card when we wrap up the reading. So this deck feels good. I'm going to go ahead and start placing things here. I'm actually just going to go straight off the top and just see what cards want to go where. And again, I might... So whoever this part, I'm going to put three cards here in their heart. I feel like there's a lot going on internally with them. Do I want two there? I do. And then one here at the end. Okay, so I'm going to turn this overlay off just so it's not in the way. And then you can see here, these are your cards that are specific to this reading. So Scorpios, I'm going to ask you just to center your thoughts. If there are any specific questions that you want to know about this other person, then please take a moment just to get clarity in your mind, what questions you have. I'm tuning into the energy currently of the people who will eventually watch this reading. That's why I'm asking you to get very tuned in and specific to what it is that you hope to discover. We're going to start here with this card. Now, as I will remind you what these mean. So this card here is about who they truly are as a person, and the cards next to it are about how they act. And I wanted to take a look at this to see if there's any sort of discrepancy, to see if who they are is how they're showing up, or to see if they're showing you something different than who they truly are. Okay, so that's the purpose of having these cards in this spot. So, who they are. We have the Lovers coming out here reversed. Now, I don't necessarily feel like this is a bad sign to kick things off. We have all these other cards to explore, so don't let this card freak you out. What I'm getting from this card, it's not necessarily that in their connection with you, they see it as being a Lover's reverse situation. What I do get from this is that where they're at right now in their life is one in which they are a bit untrusting of any sort of serious, deep connection. It doesn't mean they're closed off to it completely. I don't feel that. But I feel like in the past, there's a lot of potential here that they've had some pretty painful relationship issues that have led to really intense breakups. Lots of arguing in relationships. I think if they look back on some of their past recent connections with people, they feel like it was kind of a mix of bad choices and also just ignoring a lot of red flags. So I feel like who they are right now as a person is very much not wanting to jump into something that's too serious too quickly. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this Lovers reversed. So again, if you are in a situation where you're not sure where you stand with a person, don't just take this one card to mean like they're not actually in it, or or it's not real, because we need to look at the rest of this to see what's going on in their mind and their heart, and have any secrets or anything to really determine what's going on. But I don't feel that initially. I just feel like right now they're hesitant. They're really hesitant, and they're protecting themselves. So let's see how they act. What's this person acting like? So you have the Emperor coming out reversed and Justice reversed. A lot of major Arcana cards showing up here. So I really feel like this person is a pretty intense energy. I don't know how I feel about this being how this person's acting, though. So these two cards in combination, I'm actually going to start with this Justice reverse card. It feels a little bit more intense than the Emperor. There's guilt here. I feel a lot of guilt in terms of how they're acting. I'm trying to tune in to see if I can get any more insight into where that guilt is coming from. I don't get, again, like I don't get a lot of dishonest energy here. Justice, when it's reversed, can represent someone who's being dishonest or not telling the truth. I don't really get that. What I do really feel here is this sense of guilt, and also almost like someone who's punishing themselves. It's this energy of I messed things up, and that's on me. But it's not like that. It's very confusing energy. This Emperor, I'm sort of going back and forth between these two cards, just trying to get the energy here. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you. Typically, when I get the Emperor reverse card, that card represents energetically a lot of anger. It represents someone who is very much in their ego, a very cocky type of energy, someone who might be a little bit immature. But I don't get that here. That's why I'm a little bit confused in terms of what's going on here energetically. Because if you've watched my readings before, you know that I don't sugarcoat things. I don't, I'm not a reader who just tells people what they want to hear. If I think something's bad, then I'm going to say it's bad. I'm confused here because typically these cards would make me feel like maybe there's something bad here. But energetically, I'm actually not getting that. So I'm super curious about what's going on here. But I want to sit with this for a minute, because I really want to try to tune in to the energy here. This person feels like someone who's beating themselves up, someone who's very stuck on what happened in the past. I don't actually feel like this person did anything really horrible in the past. I think that if energetically, if I'm just telling you what I'm picking up here, this would be a situation where maybe someone else got cheated on. So the person I'm tuning into here, let's say they were cheated on, but they've internalized it and made it be somehow about them. So this energy, in terms of how they act, is like, on the surface, you would look at this person and think they were the problem in their last relationship. They would probably even say they were the problem in their last relationship, and that's why they're holding back from engaging in a new relationship. But the truth of the matter is, energetically at least, what I'm getting is that it really wasn't them. But they've just internalized it to the point where they actually do believe that they were the cause of everything that was bad, or that they were the cause of everything that went wrong. But I don't think they were. Like, I really don't think they were. And I think that people who actually have knowledge of this wouldn't put the blame on this person. And it's weird for me because typically these cards would feel different to me, and because I'm not getting it, I just have to trust that. If we get cards here that contradict that, then maybe I am becoming a little bit too optimistic or something. Hey there, it's Keegan, and I am jumping in here in the middle of the reading just to let you know that I've decided to offer a special on readings during the month of October 2020 only. I mean, I have limited spaces for this. After doing these readings, I decided that I feel like a lot of you are going to want to get more information or follow up on these readings. And I know that the world is weird and money is tight. And so I wanted to try to come up with a way that I could still offer personal readings and have them be affordable, so that if you do have more questions, or if you want to explore this a little bit more deeply with me in a personal reading, I might be able to make that happen. So as you can see on the screen, I'm offering 4 different levels. Is basically $1 a minute for a reading. You can do a 20-minute, 30-minute, 45, or 60-minute reading for me. If you're interested in this, you should send me an email, keaghantarot@gmail.com. You can see how my name is spelled there, so keaghantarot@gmail.com. Let me know which of the readings you want, and I'll send you an invoice, and then that will confirm your slot. And again, there will be limited spaces, so if you're interested in this, let me know as soon as possible. I will be posting all of these readings all at the same time, so everyone gets a fair shot at claiming their seat. And if I do run out of spaces, I will let people know that if I still get emails beyond what I have capacity to do during the month of October. I'm going to send you right back into the reading now. Let's take a look here and see what's going on in their mind, because I think that will help us to move on here. No, okay. I'm not off. This is accurate. So in their mind, you have the King of Pentacles, and it's come out with the Moon reversed. Another major arcana card, and I'm saying 4 out of the 5 cards we've seen here are major arcana, and that's why I'm saying energetically, typically as a reader, I would be like, whoa, this is a lot of energy. But it just feels like it's a lot of emotional energy without a lot of fact to back it up. The Moon coming out reversed here, I actually like it when the Moon is reversed, because it means that we're actually confronting and dealing with some of the fears and darkness and insecurities, or a situation where the truth is finally coming to light. Someone who is looking internally at all that darkness, or the inner demons, or the trauma that they haven't dealt with, and actually starting to be willing to explore that and deal with it and heal it. Now, in their mind, they're wanting to do that work, and ultimately they're wanting to see themselves as this King of Pentacles energy. And the King of Pentacles is a very solid type of partner energy. Don't get hung up on the gender, but it would be a provider type of energy. Someone who is very successful. They are wise when it comes to how they invest their energy, how they invest their time, how they invest their money. And their goal is actually to find a partner and to form a stable, reliable type of relationship. So this is where their mind is. Their mind is actually on doing the work they need to do and trying to become this version. It's interesting because, like I was saying, all of this stuff that they've internalized, I think that they're trying to work on this as a way of getting to this King of Pentacles energy, but this isn't their issue. This wasn't their fault, right? So I think that their mind is a little bit off in terms of what they need to be focused on. I think that there are things that they need to work on. Scorpio readings can sometimes be really complicated, and I think trying to read about another person is just adding a layer of complication to it. Okay, I'm going to give some analogies here. So don't take this as me, I'm not reading cards right now, right? But I need to talk in analogies for you guys. So let's say that this Moon reverse, the actual issues of this person let's say that they have huge abandonment issues, or they have huge trust issues, or they have um, uh, whatever it is, right, that they actually have. Okay, they, instead of realizing those are the issues, right, and saying I need to deal with those things, this stuff, I need to deal with this stuff so that I can be a better partner, so that I can have that relationship and commitment that I want. Instead of doing that, they have an awareness of whatever the issue is, but they're overlaying it. So they're like, because of this, I messed this up, and I need to figure out how to not feel guilty about messing this up so that I can have something better. But that won't solve the problem. Even if they forgave themselves about this, or realized it wasn't all their fault, or the other person was like, hey, that wasn't on you, that was on me, these issues are still going to be there. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so it's like they're distracted by what happened in the past, and they've internalized it into who they actually are, and it affects how they act, but they aren't really dealing with the issues directly. They're trying to deal with the pain of what happened in the past instead, and that's not going to work. Let's see what's in their heart. I think I put 3 cards here. Yeah. Okay, so we have the 5 of Wands upright, the Hermit reversed, and then you have the Star card, which is upright. 2 more major arcana cards here. Okay, so that means out of the, what, how many cards are down here? 8. Only 2 of them are not major arcana with this person. 5 of Wands, we've sort of talked about this energy already. There's just a lot here that feels like this person feels as if I'm gonna say this, okay? For sure, this stuff, this Lovers Reversed, is a relationship in which this person that I'm reading about, this person that you wanted to find out information about, they were, I would say without a doubt, they were cheated on. I feel that because this card has a lot of energy around there being lots of competition, or people who are coming in to try to disrupt things. There's a feeling of there being a perceived conflict or obstacles that are in the way regarding matters of the heart. And it's come out here with the Hermit reversed, which is a place of really isolating and distancing yourself, and kind of being stuck, not being able to make progress, not being able to really tune inward and make progress, but instead it's like getting trapped internally, trapped in their mind, getting stuck in the past. And it's specific to this notion of there being so much competition, or there being challengers coming in to disrupt things when it comes to matters of the heart. Now, you do have the Star card here, which has come out upright, which is good because even though these 2 cards are pretty intense and they're pretty heavy cards, in their heart, they do believe that there's hope to work this out. They believe that ultimately their heart will heal. They do believe that. Internally, they don't feel like it's a hopeless situation, but they are avoiding actually dealing with it. This Hermit reversed feels like what I was talking about earlier, and saying that they're not really focusing on what they need to. It's like they're distracting themselves by focusing on this past and what went wrong here instead. They really do have a fear, I will say, and not necessarily in their mind, because this is what's interesting to me looking at this from like heart versus mind. In their mind, they really do want to be this King of Pentacles. Like, they want that, right? But in their heart, they worry that even if they are like the ideal partner, that they won't be the one who is chosen, or that they won't be able to trust that the person won't be with someone else, or pick someone else. So let's see what's going on in this person's future. I put 1 card down here. You have the 7 of Wands here. It did come out upright. You know, not the best card, but also not the worst. I think in the future for them, they're still going to feel this need to protect themselves, to guard against this um, this perceived threat, right? So this Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands, it's speaking to the same thing, of this notion of I can't let myself fully fall. I can't let myself fully trust. I can't let myself be fully engaged because there's so much risk about it. But the Star card as well, if you look at the illustration on this, right, it's almost like there's still this fire burning, even though there's like this wall that's built up around it. The fire's still there. So I think in their future, in their immediate future at least, it's going to be more of the same, where they're in this battle between trying to take responsibility for stuff that isn't theirs, not fully connecting to the stuff that is theirs that needs to be dealt with, wanting to be in a place where they feel like they can show up and be this ultimate partner, not trusting that even that's going to be enough, but not being in a place where they're bitter. It's this very kind of back and forth energy with them of trying to find a way to really, it just feels like just to exist. I feel like they get in their head a lot. They get in their head a lot. I wouldn't be at all surprised if people who watch this are curious about an air sign, because this feels very much like when I do air sign readings, and it's just this, either an air sign or a Virgo. I would bet money. If you are listening to me and you are watching this about an air sign or a Virgo, please go into the comments and let me know, because this is what it feels like. It's that back and forth energy. And I always give the analogy of someone who's sitting in there trying to like untie all these knots, and there's really no purpose in untying the knots. Untying the knots doesn't do you any good. It just ultimately you end up in a place where you don't have knots anymore, but you still haven't dealt with this, right? Like this is what made the knots be there in the first place. And untying the knots and trying to figure them out doesn't do work on this stuff. You actually just have to do the work on this stuff. Realize it, confront it, put light on it, accept it, stop avoiding it. It's shadow work that's needed here. And this person instead feels like they're just trying to practice self-forgiveness. And shadow work is almost like the opposite of self-forgiveness. It's self-awareness, right? Really becoming aware of even the dark sides of ourselves and how we self-sabotage ourselves and how we cause problems and conflict. This person's not there yet, though. Okay, so let's see here in this place of secrets. I'm going to get some water really quickly. Very interesting, because as I'm approaching the stack of, I have 2 cards here for secrets, I feel my throat starting to like close up. That's always a sign for me that this is probably something that they really do not want the person you to know, or they don't want people aware of it, or they're very uncomfortable speaking about it. So let's see what these cards are. Okay, you have the Ace of Swords here coming out reversed, and then you have the Eight of Cups, which is also reversed. I'm going to start with the Eight of Cups. I don't think that this person wants you to know exactly how much fear they have around the potential of losing you. Almost to the point that internally themselves, it's almost like a secret they're keeping from themselves. They're aware of it, obviously, because it's their feelings, but it's like they have so much fear of a loss, or of not knowing what the future might hold. There's a lot of fear around that, but they try not to show that. And the way that they can detach from this fear is by really creating some blocks in their own mind or acting like there's some sort of confusion around the situation that doesn't truly exist. The secret, though, is that they do know what they want, and they do understand what I think you in particular mean to them. But again, this person is very interesting because they're absolutely able to distract their mind from where their mind needs to be. They're very good at it. It's a natural gift that they have of being able to distract themselves and not think about. If they don't want to think about something, they're not going to think about it. They'll just create a situation in their mind that is able to distract them. All right, let's see what their plan is here. You have the Page of Pentacles coming out reversed, and then the Ace of Wands upright. We're going to start with this Page of Pentacles here. I don't get this. What is going on with this person? In terms of a plan, okay, I'm going to come back to this. I thought I would start with it, but I don't know, the energy's weird with that. So maybe if I start with this Ace of Wands, I'll understand this part a little bit better. What is this person's plan? All right, we're just going to have to talk through this, Scorpio, because this is very confusing to me, what I'm getting from both of these cards. So with this Ace of Wands, I feel someone who is, their plan is to figure out how to be much more positive, much more outgoing, much more confident. They want to be in a place where they're desired and where they feel like they've gotten their courage and their confidence back. Okay, that's their plan. I feel like that's the energy of the plan. This, I don't energetically know how this would be someone's plan, because what I'm picking up from this, from this, the Daughter of Pentacles, which is reversed, is there's almost like this energy of laziness around it, or even like a, yeah, this is what I want, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it. I think that's what this is. Their desire is to be confident. Their desire is to be back in a place where they feel like there's much. I just very strongly, I feel like if you look at this card, even, it's just like they just want there to be much more positivity, right? Like much more positivity in their life in general, around everything. But then there's this, which is this like womp womp energy. It's the only way that I can. It's like that Debbie Downer skit on SNL where it's like, they're in the. It's more of this stuff. They're getting in their head. They're getting in their way. They're getting in their own mind about what the. That's why I've actually like put this card on top, because I feel like this is preventing them. This is what they really want, and then there's this thing that's on top of it that's preventing them from breaking through to it. Okay. Their goal. What is their goal here? I just did one card. Queen of Cups upright. So this can mean a couple of things. This could mean that their goal is to find a Queen of Cups upright sort of situation. It would make sense with this King of Pentacles. It's not an exact match with the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, but the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups would not be a bad match, right? Because the Queen of Cups is definitely about some sort of domestic connection. They do want a partner. The Queen of Cups is also a very emotionally based energy. The emotions are very balanced. There's a lot of there's a willingness to compromise. There's a willingness to invest in another person. So it could be that this person is seeking this out. Okay, this other person, their goal is to find a Queen of Cups. They've identified that the partner that they want is a Queen of Cups type of energy. It could also be that this person is just trying to, within themselves, figure out how to exert or incorporate more of the Queen of Cups into themselves. Okay, so it would be um, focusing much more on dealing with their emotions, focusing much more on the more sensual aspects of life versus um, being as mental as they are in their minds. Um, this person is very confusing. They aren't confusing from some perspective because um, it's very easy to read their back and forth and the confusing aspect of how their mind works, where they get distracted or they distract themselves or they hide things from themselves or they aren't willing to do the things that they really say that they want, and they set a goal but then they don't realize the stuff that's getting in the way of them being able to pursue it. Like, they're not confusing in terms of being able to look at them, but they are confusing, I would say. If you're dealing with them, if you're dealing with this person, it would be very confusing because they probably say and do things that seem to contradict other things that they say and do. But I don't think that that comes from a place of any sort of malicious intent. I just think that they're confused internally. They are confused themselves. Okay? I'm going to grab the Oracle deck here. I just want to get some parting advice for you. I don't think this person is going to become any more clear or easy to understand until they themselves get some internal clarity. So just know that. I think if you are questioning whether or not you can ride this out much longer, or whether it's time to give some sort of an ultimatum, or you don't see things changing, then it's time to walk. Just know that I don't see this person breaking out of this, especially within their future. It's still being more of that same confused energy, right? Okay, I want to just get one or two oracle cards for you. There's one. I think I want to do one more for you too. There we go. Okay, first one that came out here. I love this card. So it says, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. Very often, and I feel this very much with this person, very often we get so fixated on what we want to happen, or how we want things to happen, or what we think needs to happen, or what we think did happen, and we get so focused on trying to fix things or prevent stuff. It creates a situation where we're praying for one specific outcome, okay? And we get so fixated on that one thing that even if something comes in that's maybe even better than that one thing that we are praying for and hoping for and putting all of our energy towards, we will still see that thing, which is actually technically better, as being something that is bad or wrong, because we have tunnel vision towards one specific thing. So this card, when it comes out, it asks you to shift and to say instead, what I'm asking for is the highest good for everyone involved. Whatever that is, I'm asking the universe to make everything work out for the highest good for everyone. That may or may not look like what it is that you're hoping for. But if you truly believe that what is going to manifest is the best possible thing for everyone, then that's what will happen. And you can, at that point, accept that it is the best for you, the best for the other person, the best for everyone who's involved in the situation. The other card coming out here says, I am the loving energy of the universe. And I think that's just a reminder to you listening to me, but also for this person. Sometimes even when people are in a place of struggle, even when people are in a place of trying to figure things out, when they're stuck, when they're navigating things and they're beating themselves up and they're not they're not getting traction, they're not having growth, they're not making progress, and they keep repeating things, that's still the energy of the universe trying to work through them. And it's the universe consciousness just trying to understand itself. So regardless of what this person's going through, regardless of what you're going through, wherever you're at, right? Just know that you and this other person are just it's the loving energy of the universe expressing itself in how it's chosen to express itself through this person. I hope that this reading made sense. This person's energy is very all over the place, and so I feel like maybe I was a little bit all over the place. But I also think if you are dealing with this person, this reading probably made a lot of sense. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to just trust that this is what my Scorpios need to hear and that you'll understand it. But let me know in the comments what you thought about this reading. I would love to hear from you guys. And just also let me know what you thought about this type of reading, focusing on the other person. So, Scorpios, I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the support, and I look forward to hearing from you.